lovely simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing another home for my save file. So this home is for Zara Probst, and I'm actually going to have a Create a Sim video for her going up tomorrow. I don't usually post on Tuesdays, but because I had this extra video lying around, I did decide I'd just give you guys a little bit of an extra thing, especially because I don't plan on doing the Create a Sim videos for all of the Sims in my save file, because A, that's a lot of Sims, and B, I'm not really the best at Create a Sim. I'm much better at building, so I don't want to bore you guys with too many Create a Sim videos. Obviously, if you're interested in a particular family after I build their house or something, you guys can let me know in the comments down below and I will include that family in an extra video. But for now, we are just doing Zara, and you're going to hear Zara's whole story during the Create a Sim tomorrow, but the brief of it is that she is a modern gal. She used to live in the city. She used to be an architect. She wanted to design large homes, large beautiful mansions, fancy, modern type of like non-conventional, very different homes. She wanted to be a part of like a home movement, basically. She didn't want to do the traditional. She didn't want to do the safe. She wanted to do very different, very open concept, and things didn't exactly work out in that direction. She ended up having some things happen that kind of changed her direction in life. So now she is here in Oasis Springs, and she actually works with Joffrey at his real estate agency. She runs his sales department. So she's the one who shows all the homes. She's been helping him kind of put together the home. She's been helping families design their homes, because I definitely thought that the area of Oasis Springs that they're currently trying to sell is probably homes that people can design themselves, because I know there's a lot of neighborhoods like that around, at least where I live, and basically you go in, you buy a plot of land, and there's certain aesthetics you have to stick to. Like, there's certain style choices that they make you pick, but you can pick from their selection, and you can basically build your own home as long as it kind of fits into the style of the neighborhood. So I definitely thought that that was kind of what they're doing here in Oasis Springs. So she's in charge of selling the lots, helping people feel comfortable in their design decisions, and she's basically Joffrey's like #1 employee. So I definitely thought she made a lot of money. That's how she was able to afford this house. But if you notice, this house is a lot different than the other homes in the area that she's living in. So she is Joffrey's technical neighbor. She's not like right next door, but she does live on the same street. And all the other homes in this neighborhood are more Mediterranean style, less straight modern. And I did think that she did that on purpose. She wanted to kind of show off her artistic abilities, show off what she's able to do, be kind of like the talk of the town, like, oh, have you seen this giant house up on the hill with the sloping pool in the background? And I did think that maybe it caused a little bit of an issue between her and Joffrey when she first built it, because he was like, you're supposed to be selling our homes, so why didn't you build a Mediterranean home for yourself, and like all this stuff. But soon he got over it. I mean, she probably hosts all of the parties for their show homes in her home, and he realized just how wonderful the open concept that she designed was. And I think, though, that maybe Nancy isn't that fond of it, because if you noticed when I did Nancy's home, or when I did the Landgraabs home, the inside of the Landgraabs home was very modern, very sleek, and the outside didn't really match it at all, because Joffrey really liked the modern Mediterranean feel. That's why he chose to start building in Oasis Springs, and so he forced them to have the modern Mediterranean, but he was okay with this girl not doing that. So I think Nancy might be a little upset, a little jealous, and it might cause a few issues in terms of the real estate company, you know, maybe their marriage and stuff like that. And then out here, we are working on some of the landscaping, so I definitely thought she would be into minimal landscaping. She'd want it to match the exterior or like the rest of the world as much as possible. She wouldn't want it to be too showy, too out there. She'd want it to kind of just make sure that the house blended in with the natural landscape. And that's why she has all these natural rock textures on the outside and some wood tones and stuff like that. And now we're on into the interior. So the interior, she is a single gal currently. She doesn't have any family who lives in this home with her. So she has kind of this like almost lonely feel to her house. Her home is very staged. She doesn't really spend that much time here unless she's entertaining for other people or she's sleeping. So her home isn't very homey. Let's put it that way. Her home is very staged. It's very cold. It's very modern. And it doesn't really have a whole lot of like independence or life to it. It's very much just, this is my home, this is it. I perfectly placed these plants over here in the corner so that way it would look better in terms of having guests over. So that was kind of the feel I was going for. So there isn't a whole lot of clutter in this home except for this kitchen right here, because I did think, like I said, she entertained a lot, and whereas I don't think she was the one who was cooking, obviously she would need things to entertain with. So I thought her kitchen was maybe fully stocked so that way when she had caterers over or they were working on some showing the homes to people and stuff like that, she had all of the ingredients and all of the stuff that she needed to host a perfect party. So I do fill up her kitchen just a little bit, and I also gave her the stuff for a cat except for a cat bowl, like a food bowl, and a litter box. So I gave them all the toys and stuff, but I didn't give her any of the actual functional items for a cat. So I will go back through before I put this house on the gallery and make sure that I put that stuff in there, because I definitely thought she would have a cat. She kind of just screamed a cat person to me, but I totally forgot that you need all these other things to make a cat work. So there's that. And then over here, this is the living space. So it is technically an open concept living and kitchen area. There is no dining room, but she has plenty of outdoor entertaining space, so I didn't think that that was that big of an issue. And it's separated by this wall here that has the same stone texture as the outside. I definitely thought, because this area has a lot of windows and you can see some of the stone texture from the outside, from this angle, she would definitely want to bring that to the inside to bring that texture. And it's a very small family or living area, but it's very modern, it's very sleek. It has this bowling stuffed couch, and over here on the side table is going to be a little plant, a light, and I also put a picture frame. You'll notice there's a couple of picture frames around that does play into her story a little bit, because she does have people who she is close with. They just don't live in the area, they don't live with her. And that's a little bit of a hint at what's going to be her story. So I'm excited. I really am excited to tell you guys her story. I'm like busting at the seams to tell you guys, but I'm waiting until the create a sim. And over here we just have a little bit of kind of like a statement piece. It's a table with a picture, some lights on either side, and then just some small brief decorations on the table. And then over here we have a seating area. I did want to give her plenty of seating area, because especially in front of the windows, because my thinking was that all of these windows, even though you can't do that in the Sims, my thinking was all of these windows opened. So when she had guests or she was entertaining, all of the windows would be open. They could jump right into the pool from the inside of her house, or they could walk right out to all of the different balconies. And so I wanted to place plenty of seating areas by the windows so that way they could sit inside while enjoying the outside, and stuff like that, kind of do the whole dual inside outside living. And then into here, this is going to be her office. So like I said, she does work at Joffrey's real estate agency, so she does have her own office there, but I thought maybe she still did some architecture behind the scenes. Like, she still designed things, she still wanted to do her architecture, she just wasn't quite sure how to implement it, except for the apartment building that she built here in Oasis Springs, which that build will be going up on my channel later this week. And she designed it. Joffrey wanted a different type of a feel. They had some extra space, and he wanted to get as many people into town as possible to get as much money flowing through, so she did go ahead and design an apartment building. It has 5 units, and so I think this is maybe where she worked on that. This is where she works on some other things. And then all these magazines that I'm putting up are different articles about her and her architecture and her real estate selling. And if you can see, I did purposely pick one that had a male in the picture as well, because she herself used to have a male in the picture, and I thought that it kind of gave a little nod to her background, to her story. And I also really liked how those pictures kind of flowed, because they were modern, but they still gave a little bit of a story, they still gave a little bit of a background, but they fit with her whole modern theme that she's been going with. And then going into her bedroom, so me and my sister were actually doing this together. So her bedroom, you see me pull out a whole bunch of different things. It's not just with these beds either. I do with like end tables and stuff, where I pull out a whole bunch of different objects and kind of try and figure out which one we like the best. And there was a whole lot of, this isn't horrible, or I don't not like this one. So there was a lot of trying to get me and my sister to kind of not butt heads for once in our life. And one of the things that we did decide on was that she had these plants on both sides of her bed, and the one side, because she's single, no one sleeps there, has them perfectly in the center of the table, as though it's staged to make it look as though she's less lonely than she is. But the one on her side has all of her things, so it has like a picture frame and a clock to wake her up in the morning and stuff like that. So that was kind of just another little nod to her life. And then over here for the dresser, I do use the city living one. It's a little bit smaller, so it doesn't take up quite as much space, and I kind of liked that in terms of, you know, walkability, because I wanted them to be able to get to the bathroom. And then I'm quickly just putting a couple of clutter decorations. I'm putting some magazines. I thought maybe she had some articles in those magazines. I definitely thought she was a little bit of a self-absorbed person. I think that she really likes herself. Let's put it that way. And then in here, this is her bathroom. So I did give her kind of like a fancy bathtub area. I put it up on this platform, and yes, it does function. I already tested it. And I give her this bathtub on a platform, and I do place a couple of decorations around. Me and my sister agreed that we needed some sort of light statement up on the wall here, and I put a plant in the corner, and then her robe over here, and then I do a custom bath shelf as well, so that way she has somewhere to put like a book if she's reading, or her alcohol glass if she's drinking while she's in the bathtub, which is totally unsafe and I do not recommend, but it does happen. People do it. And then over here, we're just using the matching Seasons sink and toilet to match the bathtub. And then we're also going to use the Spa Day mirror because it's circular and it's kind of bigger, so it fills up that wall space just a little bit better than some of the other mirrors that we have in the game. And then we are going to place a shelving unit up here on the wall next to the toilet, and then we're also going to use some of those wall decorations from Eco Lifestyle that I've used throughout the build, and we're going to use them in the gray color just to kind of give this room a little bit more texture, because it's very stone-like, and the rest of the home has a lot of texture in it. Like I said, she's very into that and into mixing textures, so I did want to bring in the same wood textures that we had been using in the rest of the home. So you're going to see me place that in just a minute. And it is still, like I said, it is still functional. These do not block her at all because she actually jumps like right over the platform just into the bathtub. So it doesn't really matter what I put on either side. I could have totally filled those sides up. But now we are on to the exterior, and I definitely thought that this was maybe a little bit of her private balcony. Like when she wasn't entertaining, she pretty much only used this side. She had her little tanning corner here, and she also had her floaty that was easily accessible from her side of the balcony. And then over here is the entertaining space for the exterior. So initially we were going to do this grill, and then we were planning out like the living space, like the couches and everything, and we realized it wasn't quite as much space as we had initially wanted, so we do delete the grill and just place another set of couch and chairs just to kind of make it more even. And then we also fit them so that way they face the pool, so that way people could jump right from the chairs and stuff into the pool. They could see everything going on. And yeah, besides that, that is pretty much it for this build. So I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!